Now in Sydney, 2025, winter has hit, and it seems particularly cold this winter. This part of winter anyway. It's been quite a warm winter up until now, but it's got suddenly very cold. Now, I keep getting feedback from customer after customer saying that their heaters are not keeping up. Now, the first thing I need you to be aware of is that when you set a heater, and some heaters can actually be calibrated, what happens is you want to set it for the temperature that it turns off at. So you might set it for say 25 or 26 degrees, and then the heater should only come on if the temperature is below what you set it for. And the heater is either on or it's off. So it's not a matter of turning the heater up and then it becomes more powerful. If you turn it up, all that means is that if you get a warm day, the temperature will raise to what it's set to. So you don't really want to turn it up. You want to set it for where you want the heater to turn off. And then if the heater is on and the light's on, you should see a little bit of, if you look at the heater carefully, you'll see the little waves of heat that the heater's on. Or if you want to, under the water, you could touch the heater and just make sure that it's warm, because you need to make sure that it's actually working. But what I want to tell you is the heater is either on and it's working, and therefore the light would usually be on and the heater will be hot. Or the heater is off, and then the light will not be on and the heater should not physically be hot. If your tank is suddenly not up to heat and the heater is on and it is under what the heater is set for, then that means you need an extra heater. Now, this winter, I am getting a bunch of people with heaters that should easily do the size aquarium that they've got. But for some reason, they're just not doing that. If it's an older heater, then there's more chance that it's not going to work to the recommended amount. And then the other thing to be aware of is that most of these heaters are set in Europe. So they're set for European conditions. Now, when you're in Europe, their houses are very, very well insulated, and their houses tend to be very warm. So even though Europe is much colder than Australia, their housing installation tends to be a lot better. For example, my wife is from Poland, and when you go to Poland to visit her relatives and stuff, even in winter, their central heating is much better and their insulation is much better, and their houses are never cold. Whereas here in Australia, we don't tend to have the same insulation and internal heating, so our houses tend to actually run a lot colder. So if you're not getting your temperature up to where you need it, often the solution is not turning the heater up. The solution is adding a spare heater.